Now recording.
So creepy.
Skynet has joined the chat.
It's okay. It's our friend. It's going to keep track of all of our contact information. And personal information. And addresses. And credit card numbers. And social security numbers. And dice rolls.
We are all going to die.
Hello. And welcome to Critical Recovery. This is a homebrew 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign set in a persistent world that is shared with several other campaigns. My name is Crash. I will be your DM for the evening. Tonight I am joined by a bunch of fantastic people, including LFA and Archbeth are hanging out in chat. Our players for this evening are Chris, Ellie, Io, Jen, and Cindy. And what happened last?
A bunch of things Gorga did not care for.
Right, we fought a very ancient thing that was mostly dead.
Aboleth.
Yes.
If you thought they were creepy before, try fighting one who's died already.
Yeah, try and fighting one who's died already when you know everything this thing can do, because I think I rolled a natural 20 on the history check. I think that thing knocked me unconscious as well.
We also spent most of the session in a boat, even though the water was only about knee-high.
Right, yes.
Not even knee-high. It came halfway up to your knees.
You know, there was reasons.
There were valid reasons. No one is faulting you for it. The dog agrees.
Yes. We murdered the thing, and then Fava told us we have to go. We're going somewhere else. Oh, and good job surviving.
Right.
Good job not dying. And we're going to go somewhere else that doesn't have as much salt or water, because let's go somewhere that doesn't have as much salt or water.
Which, you know, fair.
And everyone rejoiced. So, the main way in and out, if you're not going by rope, grappling hook, and boat, from Oregano, the mining town, was an abandoned railroad track, which was the main way they sent out the salt that they harvested and got supplies sent in. Abandoned because the person who was maintaining that railroad just stopped when Oregano went away. It wasn't necessary anymore. However, the tunnel is for the most part quite serviceable in regards to walking down it. So you spend about a full day walking through a monotonous tunnel underground following tracks. It is exciting for everybody. And by that I mean Gen E is having a really good time. I will leave it to your characters to decide if you enjoy the monotony. I have some guesses, but I will not make that call.
It is better than the water.
Very much so.
I think that now is a lovely time to share with Jenny some of the travel song type things I learned while doing mercenary stuff.
Jenny enjoys all of them. They do know a few of the ones that you share.
Talia regrets so much about her life right now.
But others are brand new. So as you are setting up to make camp for the first night, Thava points out that you've got several days that you're going to be going down this track. As fun as this was, you've got more of it coming. But your end destination, the next point where you're going to be doing any kind of investigation, is going to be once you get to Coomridge, which is probably going to be over a week's journey. Not all of it in a tunnel. You've got maybe a couple more days before you pop out from being underground at a town called Idaho. And then from there you take the long road, which all of you know what the long road is. It's a road that literally goes all the way around the main continent of Circulus. Hence the name, because there are no roads that are longer than it. You'll take that for a few days, and then you'll get to Gore's Gate, and then you'll take a 3-day trip through the swamp. Don't worry, there's a road that's above water. But a 3-day trip through the swamp there, and then you'll get to Coomridge, and then from there it's like a half-day's trip to where you're going to be doing the investigation.
I start subtly counting my rations.
And how long on this trip before Jenny realizes that they could have teleported us?
Oh, as soon as Thava finishes this, Jenny points out, Oh, we are going to Coomridge. I know the teleportation circle for Coomridge. You what? Yes, it is one of my prepared spells.
So
this group isn't very good at forming each other, are we?
We didn't have to walk this far, then.
No, we could have teleported directly out of the cave system as soon as we got to the first bit of dry ground. I did not know our destination. Well, my fault for not saying anything. Could you get us out of here now? Certainly. And Jen E cast teleportation circle.
So how many days wasted?
1.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Archbreath is saying, what, no long rest? No, they have canonically had a long rest. And they've all leveled up to level 3. Jenny casts teleportation circle. Please keep arms, legs, and other limbs inside the circle at all times until we have come to a full and complete stop.
Good plan.
Please do not jump partway through the casting of the spell. It does not actually do anything and is somewhat annoying to the caster.
As they're finishing the caster jump.
Talia!
Fair. It's like when you're going into an instance of World of Warcraft, you always jump as you hit the portal.
Oh, yes.
I just wanted one instance where when you come through on the other side, you fall. But never mind.
I had that earlier on beta when I was doing the other side.
Oh, in the release version of Wrath of the Lich King, I fell through the world, not in an instance, just going through the world. I fell through it.
Wow.
That was fun. That was an interesting experience. 10 out of 10 would fall through the world again. Because I was playing a paladin and I would have bubbled before I hit the ground that time. That would have. But in any case, you find yourself in a circular room. There's a bunch of people who are getting ready to joust. No, not that round room. But you are in a room that is circular. The walls are made of stone. The floor is made of wood. And Thava looks around and says, Jenny, where is the teleportation circle that you know about in Cumrid?
Aaron.
I know of more than one, but this is one of a good friend named Fiddle Punch.
God damn it.
I remember this room.
I am...
Is Fiddle Punch friendly?
Nothing wrong, Father?
I need to have a paradigm shift. I really do need to ask more questions before I enlist services.
Why?
You probably won't remember me, but Fiddle Punch and I in my past life did not necessarily get along swimmingly. Remember how I said I was under previous employment?
Oh, is he one of the ones that killed
Was
you?
he-
Oh, no, he isn't. But there may have been a significant number of undead.
Oh, wow, you're that kind of a person. All right.
Well, you said Fiddle Punch wouldn't remember you, so no need to remind him.
Probably for the best. In any case, it doesn't look like he's home. And as Thava says this, you all become somewhat aware that regardless of your passive perception score, you don't hear anything happening inside the tower.
Is Fiddle Punch dead? This tower seems abandoned.
Is he an adventurer? Might just be out doing something.
He has described himself as a lover, not a fighter.
Well,
Aaron,
Yes.
can we say that since our long rest, and we've leveled up, I have done Find Familiar and have my little minion?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so since then there's been a little imp sitting on Talia's shoulder.
Okay.
Well, no use worrying about Fiddle Punch if he's not here. Let's just get to Cumridge and do what we were going to do, which I now realize, Fava, you didn't tell us what we were going to do here.
Well, to be honest, we were going to investigate an area just outside of Fiddle Punch's tower. So
Oh,
this...
so we are in a good place for this.
It doesn't save us time specifically. We were going to stop off in town first to get supplies, but now we'll just get supplies after this stop. So it changes the order. Still, bonus not having to do walking for a week to get here.
Yes,
and
I don't
y'all have
think anyone
been
wants
spared
this.
any more of my singing.
It was
I thought
not
it was
bad.
lovely.
You give yourself no credit.
I
So-
rolled an 8.
I know. I know.
Baba's answer does not change. So, strong suggestion. On our way out, don't touch anything. It's probably for the best if Fiddle Punch goes on, not knowing that any visitors stopped by. This is a shame. I was looking forward to seeing Fiddle Punch again. Yes, well, you can stay if you want. You're not beholden to us. You did save me. Well, this is true, but that's not something that I have any desire to hold over you, especially since I'm not the one who saved you. Point being, the rest of us need to go. Don't touch anything.
Hey, Jenny, while we're getting supplies after this, maybe you could stop in and either say hi or leave him a note if he's still not back.
This does seem like a good idea. Okay. And as you descend down a circular staircase that goes around the entire perimeter so it's not like a spiral staircase that is like 5 feet wide. It's more of a winding staircase that goes around the outer edge of the tower. You, again, don't see any sign that Fiddle Punch is there. The floors below you, some of them have machinery, some of them have doors that you don't stop to look through them. The bottom floor appears to be a large storage area with lots of crates and boxes. Well, so far so good. Just need to head out this door, and Thaba comes right back inside. He's right outside.
Okay.
Jenny, you know this person. You want to introduce yourself and
Oh, yes. Tell
them know why we're here?
Maybe he will like us better if he knows you.
I can try this, certainly. Should I keep a secret of your original identity?
No,
Yes,
tell him
that'd
it'll be
fair.
funny.
Don't listen to Talia, please.
Talia,
Yes, dear.
Argonia brought you back into this world, and I can take you
Argonia
out
will
of it.
take me out of it. Yada, yada, yada.
No, Argonia won't. I will.
Oh, I have no doubt, dear.
In the
would
interest
still be fun.
of not being at each other's or anybody else's throat, at least until, unless we have to be.
Fiddle Punch, so wonderful to see you again. You're hearing this through the door. Jenny has already left.
Okay, so there we go.
Jenny? Wow, I haven't seen you in years. It's been, 5 years, specifically. Wow, 5 years, are you sure? Definitely. I counted.
Oh.
Well, he
they
doesn't
are
know me.
friends.
Talia wanders out and follows Jenny.
I brought several friends with me this time. They are on a quest. Well, leave me out of it. As you go out the tower, you see, now, this tower is built in a valley that is high up in the mountains. So it's like Coomridge Valley itself is a valley that's built up high in the mountains. But then you go off to the side, the mountains go up higher, and there's a higher valley. There's nothing by way of trees that are here. There's little bits of scrub brush and like scraggly bits of grass and stuff, but it's too high in elevation for the most part for large amounts of greenery to grow. There is, however, a large lake that is near the tower that is crystal clear. It honestly looks like it belongs on a postcard. And next to this lake is a gnome in a reclining folding chair with a small drink that has an umbrella sticking out of it and a straw. He is wearing a large straw hat, sandals, and a shirt that has tiny little palm trees all over it.
Of course, Fiddle Punch would invent the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, of course he would.
Also sunglasses.
Okay.
Kind of stylish, actually.
I'm glad you think so. I'm on vacation.
Well, enjoy your vacation. We were just using your teleportation circle because Jenny said they knew this one and we were needing to get into the area.
Yes. We are attempting to investigate a thing.
Yes,
We
many
ran
things,
across
possibly.
them in a horribly damp cave system, and, well,
I fixed them.
They were kind of stuck, but they're better now.
Basically, yes. If I may ask you, Mr. Fiddle
salt
Punch.
got in the gears.
Right, there was salt. It's
Nothing a
true.
little prestidigitation can't clear up.
You went to Oregano.
Yes, that is very well.
yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Ask the Dragonbone.
Didn't you
yes.
say you didn't want to be part of our quest? Because
Well, asking questions
more we
don't
tell you
mean
why.
he wants to
No,
be
this
part
is
of
like
it, you know?
when you hear someone say they did something that all reason points to not doing the thing is a good idea, and you ask, what compelled you to do this thing? Jenny, you're my friend. We have been through a lot together. But Oregano? Really? I was looking for adventure. I found it eventually. Well, and this group here saved you. Yes. Well, what are you investigating?
There's something that's dead, and we need to make sure it stays dead.
But specifically, I'm not sure yet what we're investigating here. That's the boss's call.
Well, after over 100 years of an undead plague, Coomridge is kind of the de facto destination for researching things that you want to stay dead. For 100 years, things didn't.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, well, it got better.
Question for the DM. Has Fava came out or she's still hiding?
Fava's there.
Okay.
She's kind of standing in the back.
All right.
Fava right now is playing the role of, and I was also there.
Okay. Fatal Punch, I have a question, if you do not mind. The pattern on your shirt is fascinating. I'm wondering, did you make it yourself, or did you purchase the fabric from somewhere else?
Oh, this? I honestly don't know. My husband bought it for me.
Oh, that was very nice of him. See, I am a weaver, which is why I ask. I make different things, mostly masks, but what are
You're
these
from the
little-
baronies then, aren't you?
Yes, exactly. That is why we
Yeah.
need the masks. Yes,
Can't-
the air
can't
there
think
is
of anywhere else where
terrible
you
all
need
the time.
masks.
I mean, it is starting to get better where my family is from, but the other areas is a high business in masks at the moment. But what do you call the little plants on the shirt?
No,
Oh,
I thought it
okay.
looked nice.
It does look very nice. Well, I will keep it in mind, and
It
maybe
really
I'll make an attempt someday to make masks with this design if I can.
And to respond to the side conversation that's happening in chat right now, which I totally appreciate, yes, Fiddle Punch Iron Wrench is in fact married. His husband's name is Lucanidae Iron Wrench. While Fiddle Punch could technically be considered an artificer, Lucanidae is a druid who specializes in studying beetles.
Yep.
And this is why there were mechanical beetles in the Kobold campaign.
Yep.
This is why there were mechanical beetles in the original campaign.
This is true. They were.
Oh, yeah, there were.
Yeah. Because at the time the original campaign started, Fiddle Punch and Lucanidae were kind of having a separation, but Fiddle Punch kept making beetles because he knew that's what his husband liked.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Lucanidae is why I have a kobold druid.
True. So, moving forward, after a bit of small talk, because of course you have small talk, and it's the very awkward small talk of we all were invited to this party. Actually, we weren't. We're the +5 for one person who wasn't also invited to the party, but they were welcomed.
We're crashing the party.
Yes, and it
We're
was
the
a
party
party
crashers.
of one, because apparently Fiddle Punch has just spent a significant amount of time on the moon with a bunch of kobolds, and is very happy to be taking a break from that.
Okay.
Something about the moon being stolen and coming back. Fiddle Punch had no hand in that. Not that he'll admit.
I remember that briefly, actually.
I've missed a lot.
Well, I remember it being stolen. I don't remember it coming back. I think I was already dead by then.
And you were what now?
We've all been
Oh.
resurrected recently. It's a thing.
Yes.
It's a thing.
It
Not
is.
exactly
It is a thing.
resurrection. I used to be an elf.
Ah,
Close
reincarnation.
enough. Kind of, yes. I mean, I was a tiefling before, but not like this.
Oh, I've always been a drow.
I imagine when you woke up, you were thinking, what incarnation?
Kind of, sort of, maybe.
It was certainly a complication.
Oh, God.
This is my third one of these today.
Uh-huh.
As he holds up the
This
drink with an
explains
umbrella in it
much.
and shakes it a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah. Okay. This explains very much then.
It's
We
mostly
should let you
fruit
get on
juice.
with your. It's what?
It's mostly
Sorry?
fruit juice
Ah,
with 3 drops
Oh.
of Gear Grinder Special.
Wait, isn't that what the thing on the ship was?
The rocket fuel?
Oh yes. I think. Are you sure you should be
Well,
drinking
you can
this?
use that as rocket fuel if it's non-diluted. This is diluted. That's
good.
why I can still talk
Okay.
and breathe and have a noticeable heart rate.
Good to know.
Anyway, this is all very fascinating, but Mr. Iron Wrench, was it? Yep. Do you have any sensors, or whatever they're called? Sensors is usually the correct word for a lot of things, yes. For necromantic energy, asking for an enemy. as luck would have it, I may have dabbled in setting up a few. There was, as you recall, an undead plague area. Yes, well, the whole thing that is dead, we're hoping to make sure it stays dead thing. Have you had these sensors available in operation for a decent amount of time? For the past century or so, sure. By any chance, could Gen E and I look at that data? Well, I needed to refresh my drink anyway. Sure. Come on, let's go. Oh, wonderful. I'll be right behind you. And as Gen E and Fiddle Punch go into the tower, Thava turns to the rest of you and says, okay, so remember the primary rule. Don't die.
All right, don't die. Gotcha.
That is the primary mission. You have a secondary mission. I'm going to take a look at that data. One way or the other, we finish up quickly enough, I'm going to follow behind and catch up to you. But where we were initially going to go, with Fiddle Punch not being here, was there, and Thava points right at the lake.
Of course, it's the lake.
How? We are crossing the lake?
No.
We're
You're
looking
going
for
in.
something at the bottom of the lake, aren't we?
There is an underground cave that was, for many, many years, centuries in fact, the lair of my former employer.
I don't think I can breathe under the water.
The player is intrigued. The character is confused.
So,
we're gonna...
my last
Get a
boss was
spell
an ancient
cast.
green dragon.
Oh, damn.
Yes. She had an under the lake lair. It was mostly filled with air, but you had to go do a little bit of swimming to get there. It was cleared out after an unfortunate for her confrontation with a certain band of adventurers. Interestingly enough, the same band of adventurers that killed me much, much later. They took her eye, in fact.
Gross.
Yes. Well, she wasn't a fan either. After she fled this particular location and set up a new base in the Orklands, the cave system was discovered, and I'm told it was cleared out. Granted, she cleared out most things already, but everything that was left that she didn't take, adventurers went in and took out. The Lord of Coomridge is a very powerful wizard, not one to be trifled with. He did a very thorough job, I'm told. That said, I would suggest going in there and poking around and seeing what turns up.
Very well.
How much swimming exactly will we be doing? Because 2 of us can breathe underwater, but I'm not one of them, and I'm kind of wearing metal armor.
Well, the metal armor will actually help you getting there, because the opening's at the bottom. But I never had to cast any spells to get in there. I just swam the distance. Most of you are certainly physically fit enough to take the journey. One of you might have to drag Morley with. No offense.
Yes, I know. Someone had to carry me into the other cave thing. The climb was too much, so it is possible. Or I can stay here and I don't know.
Strong suggestion. Don't split the party.
This is...
Most of the times I had a success under my former employer, it's because the people I was opposed to at the time split the party.
Uh-huh.
Don't do it.
Zuda, can you take charge of sticking with Morley?
Absolutely. I will
If
make
you want
sure
to-
you get there safely.
If you want us to have maybe a little bit of advantage so we can find the cave ourselves quite quickly, I can send the imp down to find it.
I'm
Thava-
still not asking about the imp.
What is the name of your imp? It is adorable.
Kuptug.
Oh, cute.
Imp. In the water. Find the cave.
Thava gives some additional instructions to make finding the cavies,
Hmm?
and then heads into the tower.
All right, well, my luck's holding up still, so let's do this. And I'll have a chance to test if I can breathe underwater.
I think
So
you have
first
better
we'll have to
chance
see if
than
I
me.
can still breathe.
All right, I will attempt to hold my breath and make it to the cave with your help.
Okay.
Zu-
Does the imp find the cave to help us?
Oh, very easily.
Wunderbar.
This lake is fed by underground springs, and there's not a lot of rainfall in this particular area, which also is a reason why there's not a whole lot of plant growth. So there isn't a lot of runoff going in. There's very little sediment in the bottom of the lake. So the opening to the cave structure sticks out like a sore thumb. But it sticks out like a sore thumb if you're under the water. If you're on the surface, it's hard to notice. And you're high enough up that most people don't think, I'm going to go swimming in that freezing cold water. That
I'm
said,
asking-
sorry,
go ahead.
I was going to say,
That's-
that said, you've been told to go swimming in that freezing cold water.
Yes.
So, sail!
I'm asking the GM if I can do this because I'm not sure if it's a valid use of the spell. Shape Water says that I can cause the water to form into simple shapes and animate at my direction. Can I...
Can she Moses?
Not Moses so much as... Because that's way too much for Shape Water.
I was going to say, yeah.
Cube.
Are you attempting to make a bubble around someone so that they can breathe air while
Yes.
they're underwater? The DM will definitely allow that.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Then I'm gonna get Morley underwater and then shape water around their head so they've got an air bubble to breathe.
Okay. So Morley and Zuta and Gorga, you do not need to make a Constitution save.
I probably should anyway.
Well,
Because Gorka is not having a good time.
well, you may certainly, as the player, choose that you want to, but you are not required to. It's all on how you want to play your character. Everyone whose names I did not mention, make a Constitution save.
I am proficient in that.
I am not. 6.
Well, I set a low bar, and you went under it.
Yep. I imagine.
You thought the bar was meant as a limbo contest.
23.
Meanwhile,
We went the
Ryan
exact
with the
opposite
23
perspective.
sees the bar and goes, "Oh, high jump, right?" Doesn't do a running start, just does a vertical takeoff. So that means I click a button. Okay, so for the most part, we're doing pretty good, but unfortunately, Talia is going to take 5 points of damage from not holding your breath incredibly well. The water was a bit colder than you expected, and that made you exhale a bit more on the trip than you really intended to. But all of
It's
you
hard
still
to get a
get...
deep breath in cold water.
Sorry?
It's hard to get a deep breath in cold water.
Mm-hmm.
In cold water, definitely. Talia attempts this, hence the 5 points of damage. But you are all able to make it to the underwater cave opening, and after you make your way through, it turns upwards sharply, and you find that you are, in fact, in an air-filled chamber. And I'm going to open up my map. Okay, so this...
I'm just gonna lie down here for the rest of my life.
I'm assuming it's dark, so I'm gonna dancing lights for us like I usually do.
Okay. So the lights reflect off of the water surface and off of the damp walls that are surrounding this fairly rounded room. It is oblong in shape, almost like a peanut, in fact, looking at this map. To the south, there is an opening that curves off to, I would say, the west, and that's it. That's all the direction I'm giving you.
Well, that was fun. I've never been able to breathe underwater before. It is a new experience.
Same here.
So, do we start looking around, or do we wait for our friends who are still...
Anyone concerned she's going to kill the gnome?
Not really.
I mean,
Just
does
me.
that really affect us either way?
I mean, he seemed nice.
Seemed very nice, yes. And I think he was on a, what did he call it, the vacation?
And yes, and from him, he seems more trustworthy than she does. So I'm just a little concerned that she's going to murder him to get what she wants at any cost.
Wait,
That's all.
was vacation not the kind of chair he was sitting in?
Oh, it could be.
Oh, honey.
It feels like that sometimes, doesn't it?
Archbeth is correct. Gen E would not permit it. Gen E helped stop Thava the first time.
Oh, yeah, so she did. So they did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
At this point-
look, I don't pretend to understand our employer, but I don't think she's picking the kind of people who are going to leave a trail of random dead bodies of, generally decent, helpful people.
I mean,
I'm glad you
formerly
clarified.
under the employ of an
Um,
ancient green dragon.
Formerly.
I mean,
She does seem to be doing her best to get better.
everyone from this planet is just so trustworthy.
I like trusting people.
Look, going around not trusting anyone is not a recipe for unit cohesion.
No, I didn't say not trusting anyone, just not trusting everyone.
She's part of our unit. I trust her till proven otherwise.
Talia, I heard you swallow some water when we were coming in. Do you need to take a break so that you can recover?
No, I'm fine, dear.
All right.
Thank you for the consent, though.
Then I suggest we head into the cave.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a job to do. Let's get doing it.
And maybe it will be empty and no problem, right? Would be.
At that, you hear a hooah, and then there's a crunching sound.
Right!
Okay.
I'm gonna start running in that direction.
Okay.
I suspect the cave is not empty.
My luck as of late would not allow it to be empty.
It is apparently not, so I'm going to follow behind whoever Ryan just ran, so I can
Summon my sword and follow.
Okay. As you're running down, you also hear a voice go, actually, that's a good question. I need to check some. I don't think any of you speaks this language.
I mean, I can fix that.
What
My
That's a weird
character
thing
sheet
for someone
says I
to
speak
say.
primordial, but that's supposed to be Elvish. Just
Understood.
limitations from D&D Beyond.
Yep.
I speak Celestial and Common.
Talia, what do you
I
speak?
speak Draconic and Primordial.
If I hear a language, I can just pop comprehend languages.
Okay. Zuda understands it. Zuda hears someone yell in Draconic, "Ha! That's 24!"
24 what, I wonder?
Well, considering you're starting to see multiple corpses on the ground, maybe.
Corpses.
Yeah.
What are they corpses of?
I was hoping
Humanoids.
perhaps they were gambling.
They appear to mostly be
Maybe they're
humans
gambling with corpses.
Well, if it's 24, then they should have held. Because they went over black.
Not wrong.
So the corpses
Or
appear
we
to
could find
mostly
a
be
dragon
human.
playing Dungeons and Dragons.
That's a nat 20.
And
Corpses.
they look like they've been dead for a while.
Crash, I
Okay.
have not heard anything you've been saying about the corpse.
They've been dead for a while.
Okay. And they are of? Because
Mostly
that got
humanoids.
talked over.
Actually, they're all
Mostly
humanoids.
Okay.
They're all what? Sorry.
Humanoids. Your best guess
Okay.
is that they're all human, but I'll leave it to you to decide if you take a moment to spend some time examining each one to say, no, this one might be an elf. This one's a half-elf. This
Nope.
one's a very, very tall gnome. This one's a short Goliath.
Heading towards the voice.
I mean, if any of them look like Goliaths, I'll pay attention to that. But other than that, no.
It was a Goliath with a very large dwarven-style beard. They liked to rage.
Wrong
Past
Goliath.
tense.
Wrong Goliaths I'm looking for.
So as you come around a bend, you see a very large lizard-like person. They are too short to be a dragonborn. Also, dragonborn, so far as you know, don't have tails. But I don't know personally if your characters are familiar with kobolds. That depends on your backstory, and kobolds are a recent addition to this campaign setting. Like only
may
in the
have
past 15
also-
years.
I may have also ruined your thing because the Taldori dragons at Exandria Dragonborn actually do have tails. The other way around, it's
Which is fine.
uncommon.
Okay,
What would I
so
roll for this?
Just
So
looks like
for-
an Exandria Dragonborn to me.
I'm going to
With
guess Morley
Gorg's-
doesn't know what this is, being from
With
the
Gorgon's
Pyrenees.
backstory, she'd probably know of them because they're a political group of people that popped out of nowhere. That's probably
That's fair.
the extent of her knowledge.
this isn't
Oh,
a matter of
kobolds?
asking you to roll. This is a matter of you determining based on your backstory whether or not you would know what the heck a kobold is.
Yeah, I don't think Morley would know.
Mostly,
Judah
yeah,
certainly
I
would
want.
not know.
Mostly, I want to know because rolling's a good shorthand for has Ryan
Makes
ever
sense.
encountered kobold while traveling with the pikes.
And this is so it's more along the lines of determining your backstory a bit better, but that is totally the player's choice. But regardless, this being looks like if an orange alligator didn't skip leg day or arm day or crunches
heard of
day.
my-
I've heard of
They-
the 5 kobolds in a trench coat.
Except there's no trench coat. There's bits of armor that are held on with rope and enough clothing to be decent while at the same time not doing anything to hide the severe number of muscle.
I was going to say that is a built kobold, mate.
Yes, it is a very built kobold. They also
Like, that is a-
don't appear to have any weapons, but they are gloating over top of apparently their latest kill. It's it's clearly dead, and like everything else you've seen in here up until this point, looks like it's been dead for a while. But there is a fresh smear on the wall where most of its head is still kind of stuck there.
Stay your hand,
That's
please.
defamation of a corpse.
He doesn't understand you, I don't think. Stay your hand, please. We are not undead, and we are friendly.
Ah, you're from town then? Excuse me a second. Hello, adventurers. And now they're saying this in common. I am
Annoying.
Talia!
Claw. Forgive me. Common is not my first language.
Your common is better than my whatever you were speaking before, so
He's
Draconic.
with a chip claw?
Chipped claw. Yes.
Chipped claw.
Pleasure
The first
to
of the
meet
Coomridge kobolds.
Oh, a kobold. This is the first
Yes.
I've seen.
Well, then you feast your eyes upon the best. I am a swobold.
Oh, good lord.
you. Is that,
Is that a...
He's just a buff kobold.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was a job or a name or
It's
something.
kind of
Part
like
dragonborn?
Could be a gender, but...
He lifts.
Okay.
I do.
Thou dost hoist.
Verily.
Okay, so do you have a name?
I just said my name is Urak Chipped Claw. Yes.
Oh, I missed the part. Okay, sorry.
It was
Well.
probably forgotten because of my awesome muscles, and he flexed.
it is
Don't hurt yourself.
nice to meet you, Karak.
Urak.
Sorry, I'm not catching what you're saying very well, Crash.
Hold on.
Um.
No, why are you doing... It wants to paste this as an image. I don't get it. Whatever.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right.
I have no idea why it wanted to paste text as an image, but that's what it wanted to do. Yeah, Urak
Okay.
Chipped Claw. Grabbed the first
Okay.
name right off of the generic list of 20 kobold names, which is also coincidentally how I named Thava, only I took it off of the Dragonborn names. So Thava could very well say, well, yes, my name is Thava, but there's only 20 female Dragonborn names that exist. There's a tradition. I've got 3 cousins named Thava. And one of them is a sister to one of the others. It's a big family.
So, are you fighting zombies down here?
Well, if you could call it a fight, yes.
Are they actually zombies, or are you just throwing corpses around?
The corpses are moving, so...
Are they actually moving, or are you just throwing them around?
Urak holds up a finger and motions their head further down the cave, and give me a perception check.
Okay.
All right.
my passive is 17, but I'll roll.
Okay, 17 is fine. With a 17, you definitely hear
17.
feet shuffling.
23.
And maybe a low moan. With
got
a
a
23, you
19.
definitely hear a low moan.
Yeah, I hear zombies.
Yeah, it's 15.
They have barricaded the barricade. That the...
That's the correct word.
Probably.
Okay.
It could be.
Too
yes.
many even for me to rush in, but stragglers come out. I have been counting.
24.
Well, want to hunt together for a little bit?
I have a feeling zombies is exactly what we weren't supposed to find.
Oh,
Right, so we
I
need
have
to
a
get
feeling it was.
to the bottom of the zombie problem.
I believe.
I was
Might be
surprised
able
to
to help
find
with
them
zombies.
as well. Sorry, I talked over you, Ellie. What was that?
I believe I might be able to help with zombies.
Fantastic. I was looking for somewhere to set up a gym.
Because you're a swobold.
Yes, I am looking to start training others. I need a space, like the Great Gox.
Sorry. oh,
The
well.
swim to reach this cavern does seem like an acceptable test of endurance.
Ha! Yes! We are on the same page, so to speak.
Well, Iraq, shall we?
Surely.
Verily.
Let's do this.
Okay, we go to kill some zombies.
Ha-ha! But not right now, because we've been playing for about an hour, so what do you say we take a 5-minute break?
Yes.
All right.
I'm going to press some button. The buttons have been pressed. The rocks fall. Everybody dies. Roll up a new first level character. Chris already has 5.
That might be true.
You laugh, but it's true.
Yeah, I'm laughing
I was
because
not
it's
laughing,
true.
and I was only half joking. So, as you continue down the passage, it twists and turns a bit more. Your feet splish splash through the water. It's not even ankle deep at this point. This is residue or whatever. You come to an area where there are in fact several large rocks that have been rolled into position across the exit of the tunnel into a larger chamber. And Urak yells in Draconic, "Ha! Looks like your barricade won't last for long. I have allies now." And then switches back to Common and turns towards you. "I have taunted them in Draconic. I am sure it will draw them out more."
Right.
I cast
They're
armor
zombies. Do
like
they
this.
even understand language?
I cast Shield of Faith on myself.
I understand all too well.
Creepy.
And Gora says something that cannot be repeated on stream.
Was that... Do we hear this in common?
Yes.
Or...
Yes, you hear it in common. "Foolish kobold, I have stayed my hand in gratitude to your elders. But if you wish to continue to be a painful thorn, I will."
How about we negotiate?
Oh no. Oh no.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
You got it.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I don't. I'm not getting it.
Oh no.
Oh, I got
Crash,
it.
I hate you. No.
I've got the
I
opposite
usually
reaction.
get that reaction from Chris. And I
Yeah.
feel like getting that reaction from EO is an achievement. There should be a giant sparkly thing on the screen right now in the
Who are
middle
we
of the
murdering?
screen.
Oh my gosh.
EO
I think
and
it's
Jen.
Tim.
I think it's Tim.
It's Tim.
That was my
Well, the
assumption.
characters don't know who Tim is, so murder.
Right. But, well, Morley's going to say, we do not have to fight. Not all of us want to be fighters here.
We're
Like I said, Gora shouts, "How about negotiation? We can just talk."
Wait,
we're
don't-
here to investigate.
We don't know what we've
going
walked in.
to kill the zombies?
Yes, murder, zombies.
Well, we
This
were
one
gonna murder
talks,
the
which means
that
it's a
zombies.
one
person.
seems especially smart, and I'm very interested in learning more.
We are not
There's-
going to eat the zombies. Whether or not they talk does not matter.
Well, if they talk, it means it's smart, which means
This is
It might
something
not be
That
different.
is
evil.
why you do not eat them. There is no eating of talking meat.
See, I get that. I understand that.
Okay, so...
We're down here to investigate things regarding the prior. Actually, I kind of forgot why we were investigating down here out of character.
In
What
fairness,
exactly
we
are
were
we
never
looking
actually
for?
told why we were
Oh.
You were
coming
told to
here.
come in and
we were
poke
here
around.
to investigate for someone who sent us to investigate. We are not here to fight. We don't
mean, I'm
we,
not sure
fight the
about-
battle.
We've been encountering a lot of
kobold who has slain 24 of my charges.
charges.
The bodies we passed that the kobold has killed.
I have been watching over them for 15 years.
Oh no, they're like his family.
Uruk, kid. I hate
More
to say
like
it, but I think
pets.
you messed up.
To be honest,
Oh,
they are not
oh,
very good at self-motivation.
I see. You must be awfully lonely then.
It is not as bad as the Shadowfell.
What's a shadow?
that does sound bad.
A dark place, devoid of color or emotion.
That does sound very terrible.
I
Are
was
I'm
sent
Are you
there.
living down here now with your pets? Is this what happened before the kobold came?
We were looking for a new home.
Okay.
The
And I
kobold.
guess you breathe water, right? Like you are okay with it?
Breathing is not an issue.
Then you found a good place for yourself, I think.
So,
Until
Swobo, see, this
Are we
person
making
seems
friends?
friendly.
Are we making friends with zombies now?
If they talk, why
Of
not?
course.
I
This
am
one is
not
interesting.
a zombie.
Oh, my mistake. I thought maybe you were.
I
No. There is a way we can satisfy everybody here.
Excellent. We will attack. Then we will be the only ones here, and everyone will be satisfied.
I agree with the kobold.
I don't
I
think
like
this is a
your
good idea.
enthusiasm, but there's things that should be fought and things that shouldn't, and it doesn't sound like these zombies were actually wandering around unattended to bite people.
The first half of what you said is very much similar to what the Great Gox says on a regular basis. I didn't follow the second half.
All right, so, hey, fighting for the sake of fighting
Is fun, yes.
So maybe you should go back to whatever gym you came from for the fighting, yes?
But,
With muscle
New
like
gym.
that, you can make a good living as a mercenary.
It's true.
make more serving the Circle of Tails. Yes.
The what now?
It is what the kobolds have named their government.
Oh, good lord, kobold with the government.
They have a
Yeah.
government. I am learning so many new things about these peoples.
They have been
While this conversation is going on,
expanding.
I'm going to approach the barricade.
Okay.
Okay.
You see several zombies sort of milling about on the other side of the barricade, not really paying too much attention to the fact that there is a barricade. Here's my map. There is one in particular who is wearing a very wide-brimmed hat that
Oh,
in the light from Talia's dancing lights, because I have not been told that the spell has stopped being cast, so I'm going to assume it is continuously being cast. Any
Yes.
color that exists on the hat is reflections from the dancing lights. The hat itself is shades of gray, even though the very tacky-looking design looks like when you have seen hats like this before, they have been worn by 90-plus-year-old women going to the temple on Sundays. The Lutheran temple, specifically. I'm speaking from my own childhood experiences. Never mind about that.
You know,
There is a floral bouquet on the brim.
naturally. We just came from an underground city that's been abandoned, and no one goes there because it used to be filled with vampires. It's not anymore, but most of the buildings are still standing, and you might even find some additional zombies to add to your pet collection. It's safe and secure. We, I think, have taken care of the only threat in the mines nearby.
Well, the worst of Mephit's still there.
Yeah, but the Mephits aren't really a threat.
they're mostly
They're just-
annoying little
They're
creatures.
just
They
They're
tend
mostly
to
jerks.
explode when you deal with them.
They explode?
You
Oh, it's good we did
were
not shoot them.
aware.
I'm sorry we approached expecting a fight. We've been dealing with unattended, hostile to everything zombies.
I have been dead for the better half of 2 decades. You kind of get used to it.
Interesting.
Well, still.
You seem to have had recent brushes with death yourself.
Yeah.
indeed.
It's the wrong verb, but one could say you reek of it.
How do you know this?
Practice.
Interesting.
Well, fair enough. Yes, we've been resurrected recently.
Ah, that would explain it.
So now we're telling zombies our secrets now. Okay.
Hazard of the job.
He already noticed. I mean, it's not a secret. That he
Didn't
already
need to
knows.
confirm it.
In fair trade, I've had that experience twice so far.
Twice?
The first time was an experience. The second time was far worse, but in better company. Apparently, the mending spell works quite well on the undead on occasion.
Good to know.
This
A
is
treacherous
fascinating.
dragonborn known as Thava tore me in half.
Oh no.
Oh no, this is just making me hate, not trust Fava even more, just because she's just murder crazy.
I was...
All right.
She and I were both under orders. Her orders were more involved than mine, but from the same master. I was very happy to hear of both of their deaths.
Well, Thava is common name, yes?
I'm told there are only 40 Dragonborn names total. Based on the random charts in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Okay, good to know.
Well, cards on the table. We'd like to not fight, but we also do need to investigate the cave.
May we come over there and look around a bit?
I can allow one thing, but cannot guarantee the other. I confess, we are somewhat hemmed in. The cave is somewhat more occupied than we would have liked. I was anticipating a strategic retreat, but then...
Uruk.
Haha! Yes!
Oh no.
Exactly.
Eric, I don't know Gox, but you seem like a good person. This zombie person also seems like a good person. Would Gox really want you to kill him?
The great Gox fought many a foe. Many of them were undead. Some of them were dragons. Why?
That's a surprise, but it is not an answer.
The great Gox even fought Malathomax, the ancient green that used to live here. And also something else that I don't quite remember.
Yes, and I fought and killed a lot of things too, but that doesn't mean I have to kill good people.
If you go around...
killed me the first time. She is no ally of mine.
And Uruk says in Draconic, so those of you who can't speak it don't know what this is.
Am I the only one who's a bit disturbed by the verb tense that was used there?
No.
I don't speak Draconic, so I can't respond.
I don't know what...
I'm responding in Draconic too. No, but unfortunately, all of us can use that same verb tense. So it is still a little unsettling to hear.
I propose a truce. You don't fight us. We fight you. Wait,
what?
let me...
Try it one more time.
You don't fight you. We fight us.
It's first. It's much...
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Uruk looks towards Zuda and says, "Look, I don't have the spoons to translate well.
I think what the Swobold is trying to say is, you don't fight us, we won't fight you.
Oh, this could be.
Acceptable. There will be other things that contest the truce. I and my remaining charges will stand aside. Where is this town you speak of?
Oregano?
I'll give him directions.
As soon as you say oregano, you hear an epithet. It is an infernal.
Oh, you do not like this town?
I've heard stories.
Well,
aside from a few mindless monsters, it's abandoned now.
My
we think so. We did not go through the whole cave, but
it was destroyed entirely.
No, there is a tavern with some rooms and some other things in the town. Many graves of possibly vampire. We're not sure.
I mean, the place is pretty much a graveyard.
Full of zombies.
Well, mostly.
So you get along.
It does match my aesthetic, apparently.
And it is, the part that survives is still in a cave. No sun.
And
the sun doesn't bother me so much.
Okay.
And it's very
was a
isolated.
town of vampires, so maybe the people who used to talk to it wouldn't be too fussed about undead in general.
I have no love for vampires.
We did not find any that were alive.
They tend
You
to
should
be
enjoy-
much more egotistical. And
Well, then you
arrogant.
should enjoy taking over their town.
I have no more love for conquest. It takes too many of the innocent.
Oh, no.
Well, there's no one there.
There's no one
Not
there.
conquest.
No.
Simply Surviving where they didn't.
How old are you?
Old enough to have not survived once.
When you are older still, you will understand why surviving where others did not is not as much cause for joy as you suppose.
Well, if surviving where others haven't isn't what you're after, like we've already said, it's got plenty of buildings that are still mostly intact and a lot of corpses and a lot of zombies.
And I look forward to having the wisdom that you have.
It comes at a cost.
All things do.
And Tim and the zombies that remain step away from the barricade.
All right, well, our boss gave us a job to investigate the cave.
Investigate whatever is here. We were not expecting this, though.
It occurs to me I referred to him as Tim, but he did not introduce himself.
He didn't say his name, yeah.
No.
In fact, Uruk is the only one of us who has introduced himself at all. I don't think Uruk knows our names.
And Uruk has introduced himself twice.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Talia has no intention of introducing herself to the crazy kobold and the zombies.
Morley is interested in the zombie whose name has not been given yet.
I'm Ryan, by the way.
Masuda is very glad that she didn't have to channel divinity.
Oh.
I kind of wish she did.
Ryan. I am Uruk, Chipped Claw.
Yes, I think she may have heard that name, yes.
Say.
Multiple times.
You've heard of me.
Sorry.
My fame grows.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Lord.
I am only 6 years old, and already people are hearing of me.
You're 6?
Yes, but for a kobold, that is an adult.
This explains much. Okay.
Let's proceed past the barricade.
Well, wait, I want to... our friend here, I am Morley, and I was wondering what your name was.
Some would call me Tim.
Tim. It is very nice to have met you. Maybe we can talk some other time.
My name is Zuta,
Gorgon.
and it was a pleasure.
Do let us know if you make it to the other town and how that is for you. That would be great.
I may do that. Sending is not beyond my abilities.
Oh, wonderful.
Be warned, as annoying as your scaled friend can be, something far worse exists further down this tunnel.
Thank you. We'll be careful.
Mind the pinchers.
Oh, no. Okay, good to know.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for the warning, but we don't exactly have a lot of choice in the matter.
Oh, well, we were told to investigate. We don't necessarily have to fight.
There are enough of you that it may not be a problem.
Oh,
It
that is
was
all.
not as easy when my charges do not take well to unspecific orders.
Oh, I see. You have had a very rough day.
You
Or
could
night.
say that it did not cost me an arm and a leg, but you'd only be half right.
Wait, is joke or you need help?
I'm working on my sense of humor.
Okay, I do not always understand common exactly, so...
I've
yes.
been practicing with my friend Daldane. She comes to visit from time to time.
Well, that sounds nice.
And by the way, you realize that, in fact, one of Tim's arms is, in fact, tied on.
Oh,
Does anyone know what you call it, mending?
Until recently, I made a point of avoiding magic.
It's a good call to make.
I do, in fact. May I?
Tim looks at you for a little while and then slowly nods.
I put my hands on his arm and shoulder and cast mending.
There's a pause, and then he wiggles his fingers.
It worked.
Far less painful than a healing spell, to be sure.
I imagine.
This has all been very fascinating.
That is definitely a word that can be used. I have a feeling that my experiences are far more mirrored on the face of the one young water genasi over there.
If you're referring to me being a Ganassi new.
Oh, reincarnation then.
Yes,
My condolences.
thank you.
Well, you say there's something to fight further down the cave. Yes, a giant crab person. A what now? Giant crab. Oh, huge giant crab. No, crab person. A giant crab. No, a person, but a crab.
An enormous, upright crab.
Think of an ogre and a crab. Think
Crab
of them
ogre.
both.
That is certainly a mental image.
I think it may have been a pet of Malathomax. They can be quite small when hatched. Apparently, it's had 15 years to grow.
Okay, giant crab person. Probably going to have to fight this one.
It does not listen to reason as well as your kobold friend.
Oh my, okay.
Well, thanks for the warning, but like we said earlier, we don't have much choice. We do have to investigate the cave. So if this thing's hostile, we'll have to deal with that.
It has been my experience that those who don't give choices do not always deserve to be served.
This is more like a trade, but the trade was coming back to life, so they asked for quite a large price in return. We're working on paying that off. Hopefully it's not a lifetime appointment.
I was going to say, were you given an end condition for your servitude?
Don't remember.
Well, the gist of our job is that there's this thing that's dead, and we need to make sure it stays dead, so once we get some guarantee that it's going to stay dead, that sounds like it should satisfy.
Word of advice, if you seek to end your partnership early, make sure you have the upper hand. My experience did not end so well.
Duly noted.
We value your
refuse to
advice.
kill children.
Thank you.
I did not hear what Tim
I-
said.
Didn't hear that either.
I apologize for talking over you.
We both talked at the same time.
Ah, okay.
I believe I heard Zuda saying thank you.
Yes.
Tim said,
I refused to kill children. I thought my power was strong enough that, while given, was now mine to do with as I pleased. I was wrong.
Well, our current employer doesn't seem like the kind that would give us that sort of order. She may not care too much if we survive, but I don't think we're going to have to do anything too uncloth.
We don't know. This is a good
That's
point,
just
Tim. We
it.
do not know.
You don't. I didn't know either. Green dragons tend to not always tell the truth about their nature or their intentions. The one I served was close to being a god when I
Dragon?
swore fealty.
Did not know a dragon could become a god.
I thought all dragons thought they were God anyway.
This one had some outside assistance. I say this not to waste your time. At least one of you is a warlock.
Yes?
Probably two. Be careful. Your master can be your enemy very quickly.
This is good advice. I hope we meet again someday.
I would not be opposed to it.
and Tim turns towards the passageway that you had walked through and says,
Get back on your feet. The show is over.
and 24 corpses stand back up.
Wow. Look at that. That is amazing.
The easiest way to keep a swobold from destroying your charges is to make them think they've won.
Clever.
Regardless, you offered a truce. I stand by it. Good luck.
And
Thank you.
Okay, and that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Wow. That was
Because I
great.
am not starting a fight this close to the 2-hour mark for the recording.
Yeah.
So, thank you everyone for playing. Thank you everyone for listening. Tonight we were joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Archbeth and LFA hanging out in chat. We also had wonderful players, including Chris, Ellie, Io, Jen, and Cindy. Let's do a few quick plugs. Chris is part of a fortnightly recorded podcast, Azeroth CTC. The name implies it's about World of Warcraft, but it's about so many different games, not just World of Warcraft. And you can check that out, like I said, at azerothctc.com. Ellie runs a whole frickin' social network, elek.xyz, elekk.xyz. The name, again, implies World of Warcraft. But we talk about all kinds of games, including, but not limited to, board games, Final Fantasy XIV. Actually, there's very little World of Warcraft talk altogether. But never mind about that. Those of us who have social media accounts that we care to share, you can find that information on the cast page, which is in the show notes. Io's mom writes books. You can find those at elizabeth-mccoy.com, which is a place to find books, unlike bookofjen.net, which itself is the literary content and audio and video content produced by Jen.
Yes. I do have books. They're not there. But that's okay.
Cindy remains to be awesome. Someday we might have something to plug for her, too. But until that time, we're just going to insist that she's still awesome, because she is.
Thank you.
And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. Help us keep the lights on. Join other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Janetalock, Mickey, and Walter. And until next time, this is Crash saying,
Yes, I rather liked them too. None of them gave me a hat, though.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.